Nintendo should fear Palworld. Why? Because I fear Palworld. This game has surpassed every single prediction, presumption, and belief I ever had about it. Sure, 3 million sales is big, but it's not like it has 8 million sales in under a week, surpassing even Pokemon itself. This game is so unpredictable that I've tried writing this video 3 times and have to scrap it or start over every other day because some big news or other comes out. I fear this game, not because what it is, but because what it has done and will do. And Nintendo is certainly in the same camp. Now, many of you might be asking, what even is Palworld? A simple man would tell you that it's Pokemon with guns. However, I am far beyond that. Palworld is actually Arc with Pokemon. Now, believe me, the difference is small, but necessary. As it's been said by others, on one end, Palworld strives to fill the void left in dissatisfied Pokemon fans' hearts. However, it's not wholly Pokemon, or wholly original. It sits nicely in the middle of Shovel Knight and Bob's World in terms of originality. As I said, it's not necessarily a Pokemon clone. However, it even being considered to be in the same family of Pokemon inherently makes it an enemy of Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, and most importantly, Nintendo. When Nintendo has the gall to shut down harmless tournaments of a game they haven't supported for 2 decades, then you can certainly rest well knowing they'll absolutely shut down anything related to games they actually care about. And guess what? You'd mostly be correct. While seemingly silent for the first half of the release week, by the 22nd, when someone made a mod that changed all the pals into actual Pokemon, Nintendo does what most don't and attacked with the full force of an Italian saying a pineapple pizza. The mod was gone instantly, clearly showing that Nintendo has, in fact, been watching this from very far away and finding every single excuse to DMCA it. However, this more importantly shows that Nintendo can't actually do anything, otherwise we couldn't be able to play Palworld right now. Just a few days after this, Nintendo finally issued a public statement about this game, basically saying that they know it exists and we know they want it to not exist. So why don't they want it to exist? How does Palworld truly affect Pokemon? First of all, there's a chance, a very slim chance, that Pokemon will finally get good again. I say this because when I first started writing this video, it was only at 3 million sales under a week, which is a lot, but absolutely nothing to scoff at compared to Pokemon. However, just a few days later, it hit 8 million sales, which surpasses even Sword and Shield and barely misses Scarlet and Violet at 10 million. Who's to say how long this will last? But at this point, these numbers are nothing to scoff at. The only question is how much Nintendo really cares. It's massive compared to other Nintendo franchises like Pikmin, which as of September 2023 only sold 2.5 million copies, but compared to Nintendo's bigger franchises and especially the magnitudes of the Pokemon Company itself, unfortunately, there's nothing to worry about. But Nintendo is still clearly watching it closely. So what are they so afraid of? Palworld has truly seen unprecedented success with 8 million copies sold in under a week on Steam alone, with far more downloads on Xbox Game Pass. Now, is it a fad? Yes. Will this growth last forever? No. At this point, I can't even say for sure. This game absolutely has some devoted diehard fans already, but who can say how long they'll last? And who knows how many people bought the game just because it's the next hot thing? I mean, I certainly never heard of its developer Pocket Pair before all of this, but while I may not be hooked by the idea of a Poke-like, several of their other games look awesome. Nevergrave is a beautiful Metroidvania, and AI Art Imposter is actually such a cool idea, which, by the way, if you heard that Palworld uses AI to create its pals, those were entirely unfounded rumors. Now, many people have looked at Pocket Pair's various titles and compared them to similar games, stating that all this company ever does is copy other successful games. Craftopia just Breath of the Wild, Nevergrave's just Hollow Knight, Palworld's just Pokemon. And you know, they're right. At a first glance, all these games share the same blood of their predecessors. But that's not a bad thing. If nothing was ever derivative of something else, then there wouldn't be anything after a while. But to create something new, sometimes you gotta use something old. Heck, I'm derivative of several other channels. Does that mean I'm worthless? I certainly hope not. However, I would like to say that especially with the first glance, Pocket Pair's games are disturbingly close to the original inspiration. Not to the point where I would consider removing Nevergrave from my wishlist, but close enough that other studios might look at Palworld's success and realize, hey, maybe we don't have to be all that original. And those studios might not be as diligent as Pocket Pair. So maybe it's not Palworld that's directly affecting Nintendo, but moreover, its consequences. It should be seen that the existence and success of Palworld alone inevitably means that within the next 5 years, we'll see dozens of Poké-likes, Zelda-likes, or straight-up clones of popular franchises. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't know. It depends how original they are. If these future developers just do simple genre mashes like people initially described this game, Pokemon with guns, then we're in some dark times, kiddo. But if it's taking the initial idea of catching wild creatures to help you, then running wild with original ideas such as slave labor, a focus on world exploration, and unique combat experiences, we could be in for one of the most exciting eras of indie games. And it doesn't just have to be Poké-likes. In the future, we may see further delves into Zelda-likes, similar to Tunic, or, hear me out, Jungle Beat-likes. But you may be saying how studios could have always done this. Why would they start copying Nintendo right now? Well, the thing is, they have been copying Nintendo for a while, but with the unparalleled instant success of Palworld, it may just encourage a whole lot more kindling developers to take a step into Kanto and try their hand at fixing and even expanding the possibilities of their favorite franchises. Palworld has done so well because lately, everyone, including Nintendo's most die-hard fans, have hated the direction Pokemon games have gone. Palworld did so well because it promised to give players something new that they could never get from Game Freak. Palworld will continue to live in the minds of players because of the fantastic and absolutely dire consequences it will burgeon. This isn't going to be the Pokemon killer, either from Nintendo's end or the players, because even the most diehard Palworld fan who's still moderately interested in Pokemon is still going to buy every upcoming game in the series. But I truly don't think the success of this game is gonna hurt anyone. Except maybe Jerry, who has a strong disdain for anything and absolutely everything that isn't explicitly Jerry related. Luckily enough, he's distracted with Family Guy shorts, so I'll hope you'll consider subscribing to get Jerry's attention span on what really matters, and I'll be here to shovel the snow on the way out. As always, keep cool.